home is week 2.
The third and fourth games of the season have been accepted. Central Michigan and Nebraska and they may move this other one into the 26 season. Well, that looks like that's what they're going to do. That's the game that they're playing in Germany against Western Michigan. So he got a 2-year show cause. I'm sure it's going to cause some paperwork headaches, but they don't have to fire him. Okay, everybody else.
So they're going to let him handpick their games.
According to what I read, they already have.
That's strong.
The third and fourth games this season and the opener next year.
They'll never do that again.
The rest of the coaches got essentially banned for. Connor Stallions has been banned for life. He's got an 8-year show cause penalty. Nobody's going to hire that guy anyway. And a 10-year show cause for Jim Harbaugh, which doesn't matter because he's coaching in the NFL. The rest of the guys that were involved in this are out of college football. Probably the most significant thing from Michigan's standpoint is how much money this is going to cost them, which I understand the fans could care less about. They got $12 million invested in the quarterback, so it's monopoly money to everybody else. But they're going to ban, they're going to dock them their postseason money this year, which is going to be $20 to $25 million. They're going to give them a fine on top of that. Lock, stock, and barrel. This is going to be more than 20, less than 50 is the way I read it. The Michigan football budget in 2024 was $70 million. So, work backwards from there. It's not an insignificant amount of money, but it's not anything anybody cares about either. The fans don't. 10 million, 20 million, you figure it out, Michigan. You found $12 million to go buy your freshman quarterback. You can find whatever money it is that the NCAA wants. So, really, there's not anything to this that's going to drive the average fan and say, well, they got what they deserve. They didn't do the stripping them of the title. Nobody cares about that stuff either. All that they were really worried about, was a postseason ban.
I think if you vacated the title, that would be more damaging than any dollar figure they can give them. Certainly this.
It would be more damaging. I think the most damaging thing would if they would have told Michigan today, you're ineligible for the postseason this year. I think that would have been the most damaging thing they could have done.
This is a joke. This is a joke. I'm sorry. So the most high-profile sign stealing happened in what games?
Well, if you read
there was an Ohio State game that they were screaming out, pass, run, kind of. They had that video.
Connor Stallions, I think, hit people at pretty much every opponent. There were 56 instances off campus.
But so the one where they were, Ohio State thought they were screaming out whether it was pass or run. So you can hand pick your games of suspension, so that's nothing. That's not even worth mentioning. Okay, it's a $20 million, $25 million, $30 million to beat Ohio State. Wait, send the bill. $30 million to help us beat Ohio State. Send the bill.
I would say $30 million I would phrase it a different way. I would say $30 million to help us win the national championship. Okay, that's.
I was going to get to that.
Okay, but we'll go.
Continue. No, that's it. But Ohio State, when they had lost how many times, and that was the game that put them over the hump. That stopped the streak.
30. It was 13 out of 14 that they had lost to Ohio State, I think.
But the one where they were screaming was the one that where they broke the streak.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a pretty big game.
Yeah, it was a
pretty big game, no matter what.
It was
to try and kind of start to turn the screws on them.
Yeah. If you went to Michigan, okay, and said, this is what's going to happen if you do this, but it's going to result in a national championship, they take the trade.
They'll take it if you just beat Ohio State one time.
Okay.
And so then you get to the national champion. How much of it did they need it? They did not. But did it play a part in them winning the national championship? Beating Ohio State and or winning a national championship? May have. I think for sure. I think the one where it impact that national championship team, I think is going to win all of their games, Connor Stallion or not. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it. They know it was wrong. I mean, got caught, tried to deny it. Didn't some people get in trouble in the past for denying much less than this?
If you lie,
picnic or a barbecue.
Yeah, Bruce
It'll cost you your job. And, man, that guy had to do a lot of work to rebuild his career. A lot of work.
I don't think there's any question.
They
consider lying.
This is a joke, man. This is August news. This is.
Do you think that this will?
Yeah.
Will this act as a deterrent for future instances of this?
Now that they've been shamed a little bit, it's a little embarrassing. I mean, I think it does. This exact, sending a guy out and he's on the sidelines, and I think this will deter that, because
any assistant coach who's not making the bank that Harbaugh is making has to look at this and go, if I get caught doing this, my career is over. Essentially, the rest of these guys outside of Harbaugh
but now that it's happened once, it's easy to alert. It's tougher to get away with it. For another school to copy this and do it in obscurity. I mean, they would. No, if they thought that you were stealing their signs and stuff like that or planting somebody, no, they would. No,
his Inspector Clouseau thing on the sideline where he's dressed up like I think it was Central Michigan in that first game. Yeah, I think that it will act as a deterrent to stuff like that for assistant coaches.
Yeah, I think so.
But the one thing that they could have done to get Michigan's attention and get everybody else's attention is ban them from the postseason in the future years, and they didn't do that.
I thought they were going to allow them to hang the banners for the Final Four teams.
Well,
it was so soft. Why not? Make it.
That's in the hands of Chris Webber, and he ain't going back and talk to him. So those banners stay in the basement wherever they got them stored in Chrysler Arena.
As things evolve in college sports, Chris Webber's got a little bit of a point.
Well, he does, and he's the only person that could go back and do anything in that case. Everybody else is gone.
Obviously, I'm joking, but it's just
you're joking, but it's not entirely without
August nothing burger. It is. We're ready to for football to start. I get it, but yes, if they knew this is the quote unquote punishment, and it helped us beat Ohio State just 1%, and if it helped us in any way win the national championship, sign us up, send a bill.
And that's essentially what it is. Send the bill, and we'll sacrifice some lower level assistants and things like that. This is not.
You think winning the national championship and beating Ohio State how many times in a row now has increased the contributions to the football program?
Well, I know somebody's girlfriend suggested they buy a quarterback last December. That got my attention. Price tag was about $12 million. If they hadn't, been doing well, maybe she decides to root for somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, we're not having nothing burgers for lunch. What's on the menu?
Man, how about the meatballs? The Homer Simpson comes up, meatballs, basil with the ground padano for gosh. Oh my God, I am butchering this. Italian meatballs over here as an appetizer for you today here at Ruffino's. Also the goat cheese croquettes, the mortadella, pistachio, hot pepper, peanut butter puree with the hot honey vinaigrette. That sounds interesting. Really, really good. So really nice, different features from Chef Patrick today as far as the appetizers are concerned. Got a salad today. We got the crawfish and asparagus bisque with Louisiana crawfish tails, creamy seafood broth with the asparagus tips and the chili oil. The heirloom tomato and peach salad with arugula, charred lemon, and honey vinaigrette, burrata cheese with the pine nuts. Our entree features today here at Ruffino's, in addition to our regular Friday lunch menu, the kimchi braised short ribs. That's 48-hour sous vide short ribs, honey glazed rice noodles with the spicy beef emulsion. Gulf fish pomodoro, That's the cod baked in parchment with sun-dried tomatoes. So the parchment paper kind of maintains all of the flavor, maximizes the flavor. Fennel, white wine, and butter, basil served with a side of broccolini. And then the airline chicken, pan-seared airline chicken, smoked onion sous vide, the sautéed mushrooms, and roasted fingerling potatoes. There we go, Charlie. It's busy, different. St. Patrick keeps the variety going, man, with the features on Friday.
Live at the Hidden Pour in Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Sound Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Sound Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiella and Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention vehicle owners, before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
All of the all our college football conversations.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to Las Vegas. I'm a buddy, Chris Macero. Chris, what's up, buddy?
We have the Padres in first place. That's very exciting for us. I know you're very high on that as well. We've been doing it all year, and we finally caught this basically average Dodger team that if you go back to 4th of July, is 6 games under 500, only 1 game over 500 since June 1st. So anything's possible. We got them at 11-1 about 3.5 weeks ago. Very excited at the moment.
I was a little behind you. I got 8-1. So I'm happy. You know me, Chris. I'm sort of a hedge guy. Not so much. I'm more of a middle guy, and you can't really middle this one. But I guess you can play Dodgers money line. But you can't hedge at this price. There's no way. I mean, the Dodgers are so public. Maybe there's so much money on them to win the division, but you can't lay a team that's not like 230 or 220 for a team that's not in first place with 40 games to go or something like that. Do you know the pitching matchups for the weekend? Kershaw's throwing tonight for the Dodgers.
I do not know the pitching matchups for the weekend.
Padres haven't named a starter tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been talking about this all week. This has been coming up in a lot of very important games with teams that are going for the playoffs. It's like, how are we in the middle of August and we don't have anyone to pitch in one of the bigger games of the season? But I'm just loving the way this Padres team's come together. They're just hitting the ball tremendously, pitching well. The bullpen is like basically if you get through 5 innings, the game's over because no one is hitting these guys since the big pickup of Mason Miller. And just an exciting time. Hopefully the Padres can hang on. They haven't won a division since something crazy like 2006. So it's definitely not a shoe-in, but I do agree to your point. I saw DraftKings this morning minus 165 in the Dodgers, but kind of crazy considering they're not the ones in first place. And they're the ones going in the opposite direction.
Cease and Snell tomorrow.
Yeah.
Darvish and Glasnow on Sunday.
I was getting to that.
And the Padres haven't named a starter tonight.
I saw Darvish pitch in that Wednesday afternoon game to complete the sweep against the New York Mets. Funny, I went to the Monday night game as well against the Mets. Sat next to a Mets enthusiast that game. That was when they fell behind 5-1 in the fifth, and they were winning 6-5 at the end of it, but won in a walk-off there. But Darvish, he was on fire, and he hadn't been, but he's kind of turned the corner. He was good again in the win against San Francisco, but he's been but Chris, you say and listen, I am not going to try and say this thing is done by any stretch. I do think the Padres have a much more favorable schedule in August. I'm sorry, in September. Dodgers actually had a little bit more favorable schedule this month, and so far so good for the Dodgers. But I respect the Dodgers and that lineup. They scare me, but there's no comparison in the bullpens right now. The Dodgers are a complete mess with their bullpen, and the Padres have one of the strongest bullpens in the league, maybe the strongest right now.
Yeah, and this is the point I've been harping on for the last 2 months, and it all started when they brought Ohtani back as this opener-style pitcher. He pitches 1 inning, 2 innings, maybe 4. He's gone 4 twice. I think he started the 5th against the Angels the other night.
Yeah.
But it's decimated the bullpen. They had games where he pitches 1 inning. They have to fill 8 more innings. And when their other back end starters aren't pitching up to snuff, the bullpen is overtaxed and injured. Trinan came back unsuccessful. Tanner Scott's been out. The other guy, I'm spacing on his name, but they just haven't had any consistency in the pen, and I think it has a lot to be attributed to the fact that Ohtani's only giving you 1 inning for 1 or 2 innings, 7 straight starts. That's going to put a tax on the bullpen someplace. And then they traded May to Boston, who was one of the long reliever guys for the pen. So it's just another lack of an arm and lack of any consistency in that bullpen. And that's a huge factor come playoff time, especially the way managers manage today, where they have a quick hook on the players. And one more thing I'll say, if you saw Cease pitch against the Red Sox the other night, I don't know where that start came from, but if he can keep that up with the way Darvish has turned things around, I mean, this team could be lights out.
Darvish's ERA last 3 games, 2.12, 18-2 strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, Cease, we thought he was going to be on the trading block, because he started that first game against the Mets and took one to the temple. I mean, a shot, and he stayed in a game. I mean, today's professional athlete, a pitcher, to stay in the game. So he's got great stuff. So, and but Laureano is just really hit, and it just seems like it has lit a fire under the veterans as well. Now, like you don't have to worry about Jackson Merrill. He's going to play hard. He's going to play smart. He one of my favorite players in all of baseball. Tatis and Machado though, like those guys, and I don't know. It seems like they just got a little bit more pep. Maybe they're just winning. I don't know. Winning cures a lot, but it seems like it's energized the rest of some of those veterans.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And you know what happens is they've been kind of underachieving on the bats with the bats all season, and maybe they're just playing to their potential at this point. I mean, these games have been, the San Francisco series, the games were over before they started, and that's a nice way to feel, especially when you have that bullpen to get a bunch of runs early in the games.
To put it into perspective, the Dodgers, how much have they struggled? I think it's the last 40 games, 35, something like that. They have the same record as your Colorado Rockies, Charlie. that is not good. Hey, Chris, I hope you've been betting some dogs the last couple of days in baseball. I mean, wow, especially after the trade deadline, where the separation between the have and have-nots are even wider, and well, so are the money line prices. But man, these dogs have been barking the last couple of days.
Well, another factor, too, and over the last 10 days, it's been kind of crazy that almost every team's ace got roughed up. Crochet for the Red Sox, Skeens, Yamamoto,
yes,
Skubal last night. It's just like there's been no consistency with I mean, Crochet, the Red Sox get 6 runs. They haven't got 6 runs for him all year, and he can't hold Houston till they give up 7. And it was just a unbelievable stretch of every team's ace. Suarez for the Phillies the other night.
Yes.
Just every team's ace just got absolutely lit up, and it made no rhyme or reason. And sometimes when you're betting these baseball games, you just got to scratch your head and say, you got me. But I mean, it's been an exciting stretch, and it is fun to bet dogs. I was on the Orioles yesterday. That rain delay scared me a little bit, and I did have a little piece of the Cubs, but I was more on the under. I've been running into a few people out in town this week and just discussing that these unders on the getaway day games are just like almost free money. It's ridiculous. No one scores. They're just in and out, quick at bats, a lot of strikeouts. Let's move on to the next city. Yesterday we had 5-2 in the Orioles game and under. The over-under was set at 10, which I thought was insane. And then Max Scherzer, if you look back, always pitches really well during the day. Another under where the game was, the total was 8, and really should have sailed under with some little bit of theatrics at the end, but another easy winner on an under on a day game.
I'm usually a dog player, but it may be on a run line, maybe in a parlay. I had most of those aces. I mean, Evaldi too, and I mean, come on, man.
Evaldi.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think they came back and won that game actually, but it didn't win the run line. But it was yes, it was a weird run. Hey, were you around at Circa for Bet Bash this week?
I was over there. I did not partake in any of the Bet Bash festivities per se, but I did run into a lot of people that we know and a lot of good times. They had some nice invites by some guys that were nice enough to get some cabanas over at Circa. They had those things where they invite Mitch and Paul to partake in some festivities at the cabanas, and I was nice enough to get the invites along with a few other of our friends, and some really fun times at Circa. Circa did a great job with everything, and there was some open bars and just festive atmosphere. It's fun to run into people that are on the same wavelength with you, and you're ready to talk about betting and futures and what your favorite NFL and college teams are for the season. And it's a really, really nice event over there. I would recommend it for anyone who's in Vegas at this time of year. And Summer will be in Vegas at this time next week, and that'll be Mr. Jimmy Ott.
Yes, both of us, and I appreciate you sitting in with us. Next Thursday and Friday's show will be. Now, Charlie will kick us off here from Ruffino's to make our last push for our the competition wine dinner, which is always so fun. I won't be in town for it this year, but it's outstanding. So Football Friday schedule, an extra hour, 10 a.m. Central, starts next week here from Ruffino's. But 11 to 1 Thursday and Friday, you and I will be co-hosting at Radio Row for the contest sign-up. Radio Row, their last push, live from Circa. So we're excited about that. Max is coming too. Max he's a contest player, so he's looking forward to that. So I appreciate you sitting in. So we'll be sweating some games a little bit. Anything at MLB today or preseason that you like before we let you go?
No, but I got a horse for you today.
Okay.
Saratoga, the fifth race.
Okay.
The name of the horse is the nominees are. It's the 7 horse. Morning line is 7-2. It's Chad Brown and Manny Franco. This horse is a second-time starter on the turf. He went wide throughout Tampa Bay, his last race. And I like that this second-time starter is going to have a little pace to chase. Should improve second time out. And I think if we can get 3-1 or 5-2 on this horse, it'd be worth a bet.
7-2. I'll guess it's going to go off at 2-1. Just Chad Brown. He's kind of hot right now, and he's very good. Period in Saratoga, but seems like he's on a little bit of a roll right now. The nominees are that's race 5 today at Saratoga. Roughly 2:30 Central Time it will be the estimated post time for that one. The number 7 horse in the race 5th. The nominees are Chad Brown horse. All right, my man. We're looking forward to it. We'll check it in next Wednesday night, and we'll go from there, man. I appreciate you once again filling in. So it's just Charlie's staying home and doing
Mine in the store.
Man in the store. So, Chris, good luck to you this weekend. We'll see you next week
All right,
in Vegas.
safe travels, Jimmy. I'll see you next week. Thanks.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get when you dial 296-0060. Our great team over at Legacy Title, but, we always talk about the team, but don't forget the big man. That's Chad Reynolds himself. That's right. So buying, building, refinancing, nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Labor Day is just around the corner. The start of football season is close, and it's our last holiday of the summer and last chance to grill in the backyard or by the pool. I love loading up at Iverstein Butcher for my grill with their butcher burgers, house-made hot dogs, and specialty sausages. The locally sourced steaks, they're not too well. Iverstein is open all weekend and Labor Day till 2 p.m. for you to grab your last-minute grilling needs. Charlie and I will be broadcasting Labor Day 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. from Iverstein Butcher, recapping LSU Clemson and the entire opening weekend of college football. Tell my buddy Galen Iverstein hello at Iverstein Butcher, Perkins near Essen.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Let's talk to Troy. Troy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, excited for the weekend.
Yes, indeed. How about the moves last week? You know, the sports books really do fear the action coming in preseason because it's half information. We know they hate the book, the NFL draft, so it's kind of a half draft and half competition. But all 6 line movements of 4 points or more lost last week. So it was, and we talked about that on Monday a little bit. But also the overs, 14-2-1. So to the over, and I don't know how many were in the 40s last week, but they've been bet up this week. So steady flood, like we've heard other places at Bet Rivers on the overs this week in week 2 of preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there were zero games last week in NFL preseason week 1 that were over under 40 or more points. Right now, there looks to be about 3 or 4 of them. And, you know, last week, I think even early slate, Thursday, Friday, most of those games are around 4.5 to 6.5 points. You're not seeing that. You know, just scrubbing through some of the quick games tonight and tomorrow. Titans -3, Seahawks -3, Dolphins -2.5, Colts are -6 against Packers, but then it's -2.5, -2, -4.5. So the lines are a little tighter and the overs are a bit bigger, and that is definitely an adjustment from what took place in week 1.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking at 5 currently right now, 4 over 40. The total is in. You got 2 or 3 more that are right there at 39.5. So after 0 last week, looks like maybe half the schedule. How about this, Charlie? Zach Taylor? We said Joe Burrow. Well, I mean, he's going to play the starters. And our buddy Colucci, he was like, oh, that's crazy. And, well, they played 2 series. They went right down the field, scored twice. Defense gave up easy. You know, to a bunch of easy scores to the backups for the Eagles. And so he comes out this week and said, well, then maybe that's it, huh? Starters will play more than they did in week 1, this preseason game this week for the Cincinnati Bengals. Where are they on here?
Monday Night Football.
Monday night?
Against the Commanders.
Yeah.
This is
Thoughts?
I wouldn't do it, but they are bound and determined to reverse this slow starting trend that they've had, I would argue that the slow starts for the Bengals have largely been because of Joe Burrow's injuries, whether they were lingering from the previous season where he was coming off of a surgery, or the year he had the calf muscle that was a non-contact injury, or he was coming off the thumb, surgery where he had banged it. I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that Burrow was not in a rhythm.
I disagree. He doesn't throw 4 interceptions. He doesn't throw for 100 yards a game like he's done in some of these.
So you think playing in the preseason would have helped him those years?
I don't know.
Well, that's
I don't know.
He obviously does.
They're trying it.
We know the last 3 openers. It's not Joe Burrow. Those numbers are not Joe Burrow.
It's
okay?
not.
So the injuries. No, I think it's a combination of the two. If it's this drastic, Charlie, it's not just for. Usually, when something this drastic, this out of form, it's not just for a single reason. And I think both. Now they've lost the next game as well. Burrow lost a shootout against Baltimore one time. They lost the Kansas City game where they got hosed on 4th down. So that would have, and it looks like a little bit more Joe Burrow numbers in week 2. Week 1, these are outliers for him, man. And so when that guy throws 4 interceptions, I don't think that's between the brain, man. That's not just a sore hamstring or something like that.
Well, it'll look great if they keep him healthy and he goes out in the first game and they win. And if somebody bangs into him, which Shamar Stewart hit him in practice the other day. They almost had a conniption fit. They had a big old it was an accident.
He's gone public with some of his idiotic statements.
It was an accident, but it just goes to show you what could happen. Look, the Bengals defensive linemen are trying not to hit him, and one of them hit him anyway. So if he gets hurt in one of these games, you're going to feel pretty stupid if you're Zach Taylor because you lose your franchise quarterback in a game.
So Mike Brown's not paying him, huh?
Not paying.
This is against a behavioral clause in his contract, right?
It was
hitting that damn quarterback? Joe Burrow?
That's in everybody's contract. Don't hit Joe Burrow. But it was an accident. But it just goes to show you what can happen to him at any time, at any player at any time.
Yeah. Hey, Troy. I don't see on Bet Rivers. It's posted right now for that game on Monday night. But first half lines. But those are available the day of the games, huh?
For more often than not, yes. For the Titans Falcons game tonight, yeah, we have a first half money line.
Okay. Yes.
Spread and over under now.
Yeah, so it'll be close because I'm looking at the first half. I'm going to take Cincinnati game over in the first half. I mean, if he's going to play more than the first quarter, I mean, they looked, and he looked really good too. Now they were going against backups as well, but still, I mean, they're going to score. They're going to score. So, yes, closer to kickoff, that halftime line will be put out as well. Troy, any other observations from the preseason as we look toward this week 2 of the NFL preseason?
Not really. I think you can take the preseason a lot of ways. I like your discussion about what the Bengals are doing because, they have struggled to start the season. The defense was dreadful last year in the first few weeks, but it was dreadful all season long. Similarly, do they need to do this when they're playing the Browns in week 1? One of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the NFL. They're the longest road favorites. I think they're -6 at Cleveland in week 1. So, they should be able to win that game whether or not they're getting extra burn in the preseason. But, honestly, I'm just excited that we get to talk about football, even though I'm not paying too much attention to it now because everything's gearing up towards regular season. And honestly, this week right now and next week is when I actually shift a little bit towards college football because we're getting a little bit closer there.
Yeah. Hey, Troy, we previewed the Washington Commanders with our buddy Randy McKay yesterday and talked about it. Well, your thoughts because that's your team. Living in the DMV area, I guess you would say. And what are you thinking? What's the pulse of most of the fan base going into year 2 with Jaden Daniels?
Well, the pulse of the fan base is very high expectations, as high as the expectations have been here in 20, 25 years. My concerns as a fan of the team for my entire life, 40 years, is that, since 1992, they haven't made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Certainly we were hoping to with RG3 that, went the way of the dodo bird, so to speak. But I'm a very pessimistic fan when it comes to the Commanders football team, Redskins. And, last year was the most amazing football season of my life. I think there has to be a regression. Maybe it's the regression that we saw C.J. Stroud take with the Texans. I think that's very comparable. People did not expect the Texans to be as good as they were in his rookie year, and they came back. They fell back to earth, still made the playoffs. I think fans here would be disappointed if they went 9-8 or something like that. They're expecting 12 wins or more, and they got 12 wins last year, and they had a very, very – I think they had the easiest schedule in the NFL. That's not the case this year. I see them around 7-8 wins, hopefully the playoffs. And I like to set the bar low because anything more than that is peaches in my world. Anytime the Red Commanders make the playoffs, I'm super happy because it's an extra game, and we just don't get that around these parts all that often.
You said since 1992 you haven't been to the playoffs in back-to-back years?
Correct.
Well, since 1999 you haven't gone back-to-back years without Daniel Snyder, okay? So you're in much better hands there. So
yeah, Cliff Kingsbury was talking.
It is. I like being able to feel positive feelings about my football team. That has been a drastic change. Something that really I had to learn through last year. Being happy about football, something that isn't something we get all the time in Washington. But getting to watch Jaden Daniels apply his trade and work his craft is amazing. I'm more excited for this season than ever before. But I just think the expectations, fans think this organization should be competing for multiple Super Bowls in the next 4 or 5 years. And so many teams think that. The Bengals thought that after making the Super Bowl and Burrow's rookie year, they haven't been back. So it is so hard to win a Super Bowl. I just want my team to be consistently good. So I'm hoping they make a playoff again.
It seems like Cliff Kingsbury was kind of sounding the alarm yesterday about the Terry McLaurin holdout because you couple that with the fact that Noah Brown has been out and both starting guards have been out for pretty much all of camp.
Yeah.
What he's saying is, hey, listen, we need to get these guys back in here. We haven't had anything close to our full offense at any point in training camp, and the season's getting closer. How concerned are you about McLaurin getting this done in a timely manner?
Oh, very concerned. I was a little bit more concerned than most 2 months ago, just because I don't want this type of thing. We had this type of thing, the distractions, the head cases, and this has not been that big of a distraction because Terry is a businessman. And Adam Peters has done a really good job of just this is business. But they didn't really address the offensive skill positions other than Deebo Samuel, and he's, hopefully he can return to form. But the reason, I think one of the reasons they were so successful last year wasn't just Terry having an all-pro year, but they got, world-class years out of De'Ami Brown and, Olamide Zaccheaus and Zach Ertz, have returned to form seasons. So, are they going to get that from the guys they replaced Zaccheaus and Brown with? Is Zach Ertz going to be able to play a full season? Their running back fell apart towards the end of the year. So you need Terry more than anything, and he is the backbone of this team, probably more so than Jaden Daniels. He is the emotional leader. He is the boss in that locker room, and he's such a good guy. You need him. Not having him would I don't think this team could be very successful without him because I just don't think they have a lot of talented skill position players, and I can't expect them to replicate the kind of fluky success they had with these one-year guys last year.
20 seconds out of town, but UFC 319 Chicago at the United Center. The Duplessis fight is the main card. Any picks real quick?
Yeah, Cam Zechemaev to win. He's minus 250. I don't know if I take that now. I got him a month ago at minus 200. A lot of the ranked fighters on this card are actually underdogs. I think there's 5 fighters who are ranked fighting unranked fighters, and they're all underdogs. The one I really like is LaRon Murphy, plus 133 against Aaron Pico, who is a child prodigy wrestler, didn't go to college, went instead to the kind of international wrestling circuit, has been fighting in Bellator. He's making his UFC debut. If you listen to me before, I always fade former Bellator fighters fighting in their UFC debut because they do not get an easy opponent. I like LaRon Murphy at plus 133 to beat Aaron Pico.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir. Thank you, Troy. Have a good weekend.
You guys do the same. Thank you.
Don't forget that AC unit breaks down right now. And, man, call our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, 480-1000, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa has worked in every level of an air conditioner operation, repair and installation operation. That's why he's really able to identify who he brings on in his teams. You know, he's got two different offices and staffs in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge, but not completely different offers, completely separate staff, so that it's not compromised. So it breaks down, and service today every day. I mean, you got a success story. So a guy was trying to use a couple. One of our listeners, a couple of other competitors, they just couldn't get out there. Finally, he called Total Maintenance, and a success story. He was more than pleased. So don't last that long. Call Total Maintenance immediately if your unit breaks down today. 480-1000. 480-1000.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Buzzy Heidel for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Brian Kelly finishing up with the media following this morning's practice, which was a light practice. It's going to be a heavy scrimmage tomorrow. So they went light today. If you're seeing headlines come across like Jimmy just saw during the break about Nussmeier limited in practice, that was by design. They were essentially giving him a light day. And same thing with Whit Weeks. They said they're not going to practice him 5 days in a row until they get into game week. Tomorrow, Jakeem Jackson was back at practice today. But this was a very light day, and they're going to scrimmage tomorrow, and that's essentially the end of the non-Clemson part of camp. Kelly said they would start putting in stuff for Clemson on Tuesday. So this is the end. I think you've got a couple of position battles that are still out there, but it's mostly for rotational stuff. I would say that the only maybe starting positions that are not going to rotate very much that are still up in play is at the guard position, specifically the left guard position, and maybe a little bit at right. I've said many times in the last few weeks, I expect that to continue into the regular season. They got a lot of guys that can play in there today. Paul Mubenga and DJ Chester were alternating at the left guard. I think those positions are still in play. Anyway, scrimmages tomorrow. We'll have more on LSU football in hour number 2. We're in the Hidden Pour, the auxiliary bar here at Ruffino's, live at lunch. Come on by and see us here. Hour number 2 is straight ahead. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Buzzy Heidel for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low-glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now bowling crabs at Sammy's. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. And on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Click through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing, Jimmy?
Good. We are you going to be in Las Vegas next week?
I think so. So. A couple weeks I'll be gone, but I think I'll be around next week. You guys coming out?
Next Friday, yes. We're going to be at Circa doing a little Radio Row during the show. So we'd love to do your segment or a couple in person, man. We can talk some college football. So, they do like a little Radio Row as a push for their sign-ups. You know, the last call for sign-ups for their contests and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll be in touch with you. So looking forward to that. Yeah. So, the NCAA really laid down the hammer for the Michigan Wolverines. You know, I get suspended every year on the show, and I get to handpick when I take my suspension. It's mid-July to early August for Del Mar every year.
So we calling it?
Yeah. So,
okay.
So, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, this guy could. Well, no, we don't want to take the Michigan Underwood's first road start there. No, we're gonna Western Michigan, in Germany.
Yeah. The only thing that they could have done, again, that would have gotten anybody's attention, is to ban them from the postseason. Nobody cares how much money they find them. All of these assistant coaches are now out of college football. You got one coach that's going to get a one more game suspension. So I would imagine that most people will look at this and say they did not do enough to deter schools from doing this again. Maybe the individual assistant coaches who are not going to coach again, but the schools themselves, I don't know. Is this a big enough deterrent?
Like I said, Charlie, you've heightened the alert for this specific type of, spying. All right. So it's going to be, if you try and copy and mimic this, exactly what they did, it's going to be easier to catch. Okay. So and something else where
they're going to fly a drone over practice at Ohio State.
Some AI freaking stealing of the playbook or something, whatever.
Ohio State will respond with snipers in the crow's nest to shoot down the drones. I mean, it's college football. It's a serious
they
stuff.
got caught. They covered it up. I mean, I'm just like, shoot. Bruce Pearl covered up a barbecue, and it cost him a real. I mean, it certainly sidetracked his coaching career for a while. I don't know, Brucey. I don't know if you have any thoughts on a little slap of the wrist for the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of these the NC2As, like these police officers in London that walk around without guns. How much can they really enforce? But I will say this: I think the NC2A is in a little bit of a tricky period of time here, because the more, and this was, just sort of a slap on the wrist, I know, but the more they, the more they not intimidate, or more they put up, they sort of act as a bother to the Big Ten and SEC schools. That's another step closer to down the road, not yet, but the Big Ten and SEC saying, we don't need you, and we think we can go on this on our own. And there's a lot of legal wranglings to go with that, but I think that's where this is all headed. And it's not immediate, and it's not even in the next couple of years, but within the next decade, I have a feeling this is all going to result in a complete break, at least on the football end here. And again, there's be a lot of legal wranglings going on there, but the NC2A really isn't needed. And the more they, do these sorts of things to the big schools, the more they're going to think we just forget the NC2A. Let's go on our own. We'll see. That's down the road, but something to look forward to in the next few years.
First, I had to ask you. I'm doing the group of five to the podcast next week. This is your expertise. I mean, give me a couple group of fives that you maybe exceed expectations, and maybe some that will fall short.
Navy.
Okay.
Navy's the one I watch here. And I think, and I talked to Charlie a few weeks ago when I was driving down from Northern California when you were at Delmar. But I think Blake Horvath is the best, 400 to 500 to 1 shot to win the Heisman I've ever seen. Now, it's still a real long shot, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility. But beyond that, look at that schedule that Navy's got. They open up VMI, UAB, Tulsa, and Rice. Rice, by the way, could be kind of interesting this year. They brought in his coach, Scotty Abel from Davidson, who's running the spread option. They'll really run the ball this year. So that might actually be kind of an interesting game. But I think this schedule sets up for Navy to be unbeaten into November when they play Notre Dame. Last year that didn't turn out too good for them. But I think they could run the table in the American. They don't see Tulane during the regular season, and I'm not sure Tulane's going to be quite as good as it was last year. One thing to keep in mind, the Army game comes after, like last year, and I thought this sort of hurt Army last year. It'd be after the American title game and after they announced the playoff. But I think Navy is one I would really look at. I think the American and Mountain West are still more likely to send a team into as the group of 5 rep than the others. I mean, even if Liberty runs the table this year, I just don't know. That schedule just does not have enough heft. And I just don't know that anybody from Conference USA is going to get in there. Does anybody from the MAC get there? It happened once before with when PJ was at Western Michigan, but I just don't know. I'm hearing some talk about maybe Buffalo. I cannot see Buffalo making a run. And, of course, you look in the Mountain West, is Boise going to be able to do it again? That's the interesting one for me. I guess they're sort of the favorite right now, but, listen, they had a guy last year nobody could tackle in Genty. Nobody at this level could tackle. And I don't care how solid the program is overall, that sort of player comes around once in a generation in a place like Boise. I think they'll back up this year. I think they might have trouble with South Florida in the opener. Navy is my pick from the group of 5 to make it into the playoff.
Navy 9-3, won the bowl game 21-20 against Oklahoma. Their win total is 8.5 this year. What's Air Force and Army look like?
Air Force is interesting here. Now, they did play much better at the end of last season. They turned into Air Force again. However, their quarterback who led them last year, and they finally sort of found a quarterback at the end of last season, that was Quentin Hayes. He has left the academy, so he's not there. So they've got to find another quarterback there. Air Force will come around, but I don't think they're in a position where they're going to challenge this year. If the quarterback hadn't left, maybe they could have been. Army, same thing. Quarterback has left Daly, but Jeff Monken just seems to reload every year. And by the way, Daly finished 6th in the Heisman voting last year. That's what gives me a thought that if Horvath has a big year, he could at least be in a conversation. Army, will be tough again, and that style is pretty tough. And the non-conference, they do have a game at Kansas State. That's an interesting one in week 2. But Army will be formidable, but I think Navy is the top of those three service academies going into this year.
Yeah, they play at Notre Dame. Will they probably be an underdog at Memphis? How strong is Memphis? Do you think maybe that's week 11 now? That's Black Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Thanksgiving night. Is that right? The 27th. So
Yes.
There's your Thanksgiving night college football game. So kind of a nondescript. That's a strange one. But anyway, or is that the week after? Is the 20th or the 27th?
27th will be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's Thanksgiving. I'm looking at that. Bruce, we're also kind of previewing a lot of looking at the win totals in the different Power 4 leagues, and for instance, the range like Clemson their win total is 10.5, and then on the other half, Stanford is just 3.5. Texas 10.5, and Mississippi State just 3.5, and then the Big Ten, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State 10.5, Purdue 2.5, a wide range. Then you get to the Big 12, where the lowest is 5.5 and the highest is 8.5. That range, man, that alone speaks volumes of the balance in the Big 12, huh?
Yes, it does, Jimmy. And up at the CBS Sportsline on the Discord channel, I've been putting up a lot of season win previews up there.
Okay.
And I have done some in the Big 12, and I have done some. In fact, I did one this week in the Big 10. I did a Purdue. I did Purdue over, actually, because of Barry Odom coming in there, totally throwing. The only returning they've got from last year is their top rusher, Devin Mockabee, who's ran for about 2,500 yards in his career at Purdue, so that's a good guy to have back. But that was such a complete, absolute infrastructure collapse last year, a perfect storm for a disaster. It was apparent by midseason that a regime change was coming. You had players looking at the portal, as in October. You had assistants looking to set up future employment, and the whole thing just unraveled. It will not be that bad for Barry Odom. He could very well break 2-0. Ball State's the opener. Ball State's got a new coach. Southern Illinois, they could be 2-0 by the time we hit, the second week in September. So I think Purdue might be an over. But you're very right about some of those others. The ACC, there is so much love for Clemson out there. Charlie and I talked about this a few weeks ago when you were in Del Mar. That opener with LSU obviously is a very, very tasty game. That first weekend, I tell you that but I'm not convinced Clemson was a great team last year or will be a great team this year. And I know Klubnik is good, and I know he's going to get some Heisman consideration. The team I'm really watching there is Louisville, because they weren't that far away. I mean, I don't know what happened in that Stanford game last year. We talked about that last November. I was there. It was like NVIDIA set up some AI bots or something that contributed to Louisville losing, but they could have won all 4 games they lost last year. I like Jeff Brom a lot. I like adding Miller Moss from USC. I think he's going to put up some big numbers if he doesn't get hurt in this offense. They got skilled position players galore coming back. I think Louisville is the real threat there in the ACC, and I think Georgia Tech is a threat too. But none of these teams up there, with that sort of win total, the high totals, I haven't recommended over on any of those. There's just too much room to slip. And that includes Notre Dame, which I'm a little bit surprised has a number like it does, because I've seen 10.5 for the Irish too. When I wrote my Notre Dame preview up, it was at 10.5, and I went hard under. I mean, they open up. They got a new quarterback in there, Carr, and the last 2 years, they've had some real experience there, Hartman and then Leonard last year. I mean, they open up Miami and Texas A&M. It's not inconceivable. They lose both those games. And then the under wins by the second weekend in September. So I think
that's where the schedule's over, though, for Notre Dame, in my opinion. I mean, it is. We talked about, the 2 worst teams in a couple of leagues, Stanford and Purdue. They're on their schedule. I mean, after Miami, and it's a tricky spot on the road, and then A&M, I just don't know. You talked about that schedule is kind of, but the most embarrassing is Little Game James. I mean, come on.
Well,
you got every.
I'll tell you, Jimmy, they got to go to Arkansas. They get Boise right after that. NC State's not that easy. They got USC. Now they'll probably be favored.
All right,
But there's banana peels all throughout. To say they're going to go 10-0 after Texas A&M, that's pretty bold, especially this year. So I'm not with you on that. I think they're going to struggle
Well,
mightily to get to
Arkansas.
yeah.
All right, SEC team. I know the media picks it. The media picked them finish 14th in the SEC. We'll see. Taylor Green and Bobby Petrino for a second year. That's he's our favorite slime ball personally, but he's pretty respected quarterback developer. So
for one game, this is a Notre Dame team that went as far as you can go without winning it last year and lost to Northern Illinois.
Who knows with Arkansas? We know that Green is fine, but that their roster is
what is Notre Dame favored there? A little over a touchdown?
I would say they're probably
I know it's going to depend
right around 10.
Okay, I know it's going to depend on what they do against Miami and Texas A&M, but
right
now
both teams, the results.
Right,
but
right now,
I don't know if it's out, but I would say around 10.
Okay, Taylor Green can on any given Saturday. He's good enough. They could win that game.
Clemson, I think, has more banana peels than Arkansas. Okay, they're barely bowl eligible, but Jeff Brom has won 19 games in his first 2 years at Louisville, and he's got a lot coming back. They handed it to them at their place last year. That's what I would think. I mean, Brent Key in Atlanta at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
He is. I'm still pissed that he that was my biggest future bet, the win total to under that year he took over an interim. All he had to do was go on the road and win as a 3-touchdown underdog twice to get that one over the number. But, man, every year, and it's not with gimmicks, they are sound and they're tough at the line of scrimmage, and he's got a great quarterback coming back, a true dual threat in Haynes King. That trip by Clemson to Atlanta, I think, is true. Those are more capable teams than some of the ones on the road, including Arkansas, in my opinion, for Notre Dame's schedule.
Yeah, I think Georgia Tech is interesting, and I like them a lot. I'll tell you, talking to when I was in Charlotte a few weeks ago, Brent Key is wired a little different than some of these coaches. I mean, I call him, he's sort of the anti-Hugh Freeze, who's just always just dripping with sincerity and this and that. I mean, Key's just like no BS. You can tell. Guys like him, Barry Odom's like that too. I mean, you can tell they're just wired a little bit different. They're all football, and I like that. And I think we've seen that. We talked about Georgia Tech a lot. You liked them a lot a couple of years ago. You were right. As soon as they made that coaching switch, they got better. No accident.
It was unbelievable. I mean, they got beat like 50-0 by Ole Miss. They lost to Central Florida, and then they made the move. If they don't make the move, I win the damn under bet. So he owes me. But we all remember the Black Friday game in Athens last year. I mean, they should have won. They should have won that game. Give me is UAB? I'm kind of looking at UAB 3-9 last year. Their win total's 4.5. I mean, Trent Dilfer's doing about as much as he can to completely dismantle with the coach that did before him, Clark. I mean, who did such an unbelievable job. But this UAB thing is a dumpster fire.
Yep. In fact, they were one of my earlier unders that I wrote up this time around. If you look at what Dilfer did, and that was a really nervy hire that UAB did, pulling him out of the high school ranks in national, but not the top level high schools in Tennessee too. I mean, he was down at he won them big, but a lower level, and he brought a lot of the guys with him. He's pretty much gutted his staff that he originally brought. It's all portal, and it just hasn't. It's not what it was at the start, what they were expecting there, and they have gained no traction the last couple of years. I think UAB's an under this year, and so I'm not looking for UAB to make much of a move. Yeah.
And look, Brucey, I hope you're right, because this damn Notre Dame. I mean, I hope you're right. I mean, this is, go back and schedule Michigan. So we will see. We'll see. Do you think A&M is going to be pretty good, Bruce?
Maybe. I'll tell you, when I was a big Elko fan, and I mean, they'll certainly have a shot up there at South Bend in week 2. But the bowl game I became a little leery of Elko as a game coach against SC late, and they didn't adjust anything they were doing on defense. They didn't add some extra pressure in there against Maeva. They just let him sit back there and pick them apart, and he didn't change one bloody thing in the fourth quarter. So it's only one game. I shouldn't react to that, but I remember watching the Vegas Bowl thinking, what the heck is A&M doing? They had that game in control, and they let it get away. And they just didn't do anything different in the fourth quarter. I have been a pretty big Elko fan, but you know the way this goes with A&M. I mean, everything is they've poured so much money into it, and they think everything is going to happen, but they just seem to keep falling short. So we'll see. But I'm not super bullish on the Ags like I was maybe last year.
All right, Brucey, me and Max are headed to Circa to do the show in person next week, Thursday and Friday. Hopefully we can do it. We'll go break bread after, man. So I'll be in touch. Well,
Okay.
Have a good weekend, my man.
Let me know, guys.
Okay.
Let me know, Jimmy. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessment. United Community Bank is here for you. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Prentice Wilkes, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Looking for a driving experience that goes beyond the ordinary? At Genesis of Baton Rouge, luxury is more than just a word. It's our promise to you. From cutting-edge technology to premium craftsmanship, Genesis vehicles are designed for those who demand excellence. Whether it's performance, comfort, or style, we offer it all tailored just for you. At Genesis of Baton Rouge, your journey starts with a personalized buying experience. Let us introduce you to the future of driving. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet, on Airline at Pico or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now bowling crabs at Sammy's. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A couple of cool events going on this weekend. If you're in the giving spirit, two very worthwhile organizations doing their events this weekend. First of all, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation here in Baton Rouge. They will have their signature event tonight. That is at LaBerge from 7 until 10. You can get more information at cff.org, finest.cff.org. And the admission tonight comes with entertainment from Bag of Donuts, food, open bar. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight, benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And then tomorrow night, the 5th annual Knockout MS Gala. I'll be hosting that from 7 until 10, also at LaBerge. Dinner, open bar, live and silent auctions, and live music by Rewind. So two terrific events, two very worthwhile causes, two fun times. We'll be out at we'll be out at those events this weekend. Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and the Knockout MS Foundation here in Baton Rouge. You know,
that's
Jimmy,
great, man.
Yeah, we and both of those organizations
good time
have
too
done
before everybody's weekend. So the organizers,
that's
good
not
job.
by accident. Yeah, they work really hard. They work really hard. I know that we're talking with Christina Carville, who does all of the things for the Knockout MS Foundation. We're working with Brooke Snellgrove and CFF. They've done a great job. They're going to have some really nice events. These things are very well done and for terrific causes. The Notre Dame schedule, I'm going to say one more thing about this, and then I'm going to quit.
Okay.
But they do have one leg to stand on that no Southeastern Conference team does, and that is they play 12 Division I or college, football subdivision teams, okay? And 10 of them are Power 4 teams. I understand that they are not great Power 4 teams, okay? Purdue is terrible, okay? I don't know how good Arkansas is going to be
Don't forget
this year.
Stanford.
Stanford is, a shell of their former self. That's a long-standing rivalry with them. And, look, the last thing I want to do is defend Notre Dame.
Purdue and Stanford are the worst two Power 4 teams.
They are, okay? But these are teams that they have played a lot of football games against. They didn't go seek out, somebody that they don't normally play like. I don't know. Give me a bad Power 4. They didn't go seek out Vandy, okay, or something like that. USC has been on their schedule since Knute Rockne was the coach, and they're not a preseason ranked team this year. So I don't, like I said, I don't want to be in the business of defending Notre Dame. But at least they're all they're all in the same division. They're not.
You've always kissed their butt.
I really have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a long history of that. At least they're not playing South Carolina State or Southeastern or the Citadel.
True.
I'm with you. I wish they were still playing Michigan. That was always.
Well, there's a reason they got out of it. They
Sure.
when they latched on, they said we're going to play these 6 ACC teams. I mean, they wanted to lighten the schedule.
And the bottom of the ACC now is worse than the bottom of the ACC
How
when they made that deal.
How are they
don't
not
you
going to
think?
go 10-2? When they go 10-2, they're going to be. I mean, they're favored in every game.
Yeah, I think there's places that they could lose. Are they going to lose for sure? I mean, hell, they could win it at Miami. I can't say that they definitely can't win at Miami. They're breaking in a new quarterback, and Miami's got at least an experienced quarterback, not an experienced quarterback at that school. And then A&M, they could win that game, but they're no lock to do it.
And then all of those other schools, is Boise State capable of a big effort at one time? USC,
Boise,
at Arkansas.
And a lot of us say Boise last year is not Boise this year.
No, they're not. Ashton Genty is,
it's kind of
a
big,
real talent.
Boise's not what they used to be. Stanford's not what they used to be. I mean, Michigan State is not what they used to be.
No,
there's a lot of them. A lot of teams on their schedule are down, and no Clemson. Of the 6 ACC teams. So
I'm inclined to give you a little bit more slack when you schedule a named school that just happens to not be as good. Okay? When LSU scheduled the University of Washington back 15 years ago, they had no idea that Washington was going to be coming off of an 0-12 season. Okay? I didn't ding them for that. They were trying. When they scheduled these games with UCLA, they probably thought, and UCLA beat them the first time, but they probably thought that UCLA would have a better team when they got to Tiger Stadium. So I'm going to give them just a little bit of grace, Jimmy, just a little bit, and that's hard for me because I'm no.
I think the schedule's weak this year. I understand there's some luck or lack of, but part of this, the big movement by them is to get away from mix. It's just, hey, they're gonna have an easy path to the playoff.
There's weak, but there's weak when you go out of your way to make it weak, like Penn State did. Penn State went out of their way to make the schedule as weak as they could. I'm not sure Notre Dame did. Okay, they made this deal with the ACC. These ACC teams, and Stanford is the biggest culprit. They're not very good. But when you say, okay, outside of your ACC agreement, who did you go out and schedule?
I heard you, Charlie.
Miami, Texas A&M, Arkansas.
Oh,
well,
and partly due to what they did, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever, with their agreement with the ACC, dodging Michigan, and part of it is bad luck. So they're going to play. I get the the Stanford USC thing, and Stanford, They have to. It's what do they call it? I forget, something called airplane alumni or whatever they call it. But they don't have any local base. It's just shotgun all over the country. So the second biggest metro area in the country, they want to have a presence there. I know you underscore playing in places to have a recruiting presence, but they have to. This is part of they have to do that. They want to play in California every year, and not 100%, no problem with that. The Dodge in Michigan thing gets me.
Yeah, okay.
That gets me.
And I love that.
You can't get.
That series
I mean, that was a classic game for so many years. The 70s when I'm growing up. It just Notre Dame and Michigan, man.
There
are you look
games,
forward to.
There are games that are not played anymore. That was one of them. I'll tell you the one I'm gonna miss. I always used to love this game. It was Bedlam. When Oklahoma got out of the Big 12, Oklahoma State, that was entertaining football, man. It really was. So they're not the only ones that are ducking around on some of these.
I don't
things.
have Max here, but I hope people took our advice and got the 4.5 when they could at LSU, because I'm not seeing any 4.5s anymore.
It back down to
DraftKings at the Queen is 3.5. Bet Rivers is 4. FanDuel is 3.5. So I think the 4.5s are bye-bye.
Well, and you understand last Friday
Let me check the Beau Rivage.
Last Friday when we were sitting in here, we were monitoring what was going on at practice, because there was a 48-hour scare with Nussmeier when they closed practice on Thursday. And so on Friday, we're sitting here going, okay, is he out there? Yes, he's out there. We got a picture. Okay, can he run? Yeah, well, we're just getting still shots. Okay, yeah, he's going to be fine. And then Saturday, the entire media contingent's out there, which the media contingent that watches LSU practice is, there's more media that watch LSU practice than watch some people play games in the regular season at the lower levels.
Yep.
And he was fine, and I think that eased a lot of people's fears about, oh, wait, is there something wrong with Nussmeier? If Nussmeier's fine and I'm getting 4.5, there's a little bit of buyback when you think after that,
I think
the fears were alleviated.
I explained if you're beating the news, and it is true, I mean, You're
Sure.
getting a great, and then you betting it at 3.5 before it moves. So that action is warranted. So it moved a little bit. Yeah, Beau Rivage has it at 3.5 as well. So the only 4 out there right now is Bet Rivers, and I haven't checked all of them, but the main ones that we track. So there you go. But might be. Maybe you want to get on that 4 right now too. So no, the scare. I think it's smart because it was directly correlated time-wise with the scare is when it jumped up. So
Field trip day for you tomorrow. You making a little trip down to Pierre Part store.
Yes, I'm excited.
Pierre Part store, the Thibodeau store. You getting ready for football season?
Yes.
Getting your tailgating supplies.
I'm gonna have a full report, man. I'm going down.
You got the shopping list? You make it out for you? You go down there? Or are you just gonna browse?
No. You just go there and check it out. I mean, I kind of have an idea, but no list. I just going and seeing what I need to for a grilling season, for the football season. Do you do the tailgating? It's a must. Now's the time to go down to the Thibodeau store or Pierre Part store. And so I was blown away with the Thibodeau store, and so this will be my first time to the Pierre Part store. And people say, I know it's bigger, but I'm just excited, man. You like the outdoor kitchen, your on-site catering. Labor Day's around the corner as well. You don't have a green egg, you want it. I swear by them. What it does is it makes it really, really easy to grill. It really makes it that cast iron indirect heat lid that you put down makes doing chicken, it falls off the bone, and you just cannot screw it up. You don't constantly have to watch the fire and try and flip the yard bird and stuff like that. No. So just really good stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'll have a full report from the Pierre Part store. But look, outdoor cooking, you do your own cooking for the for tailgating season. It's a must. You got to check it out.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance. At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Labor Day is just around the corner. The start of football season is close, and it's our last holiday of the summer and last chance to grill in the backyard or by the pool. I love loading up at Iverstein Butcher for my grill with their butcher burgers, house-made hot dogs, and specialty sausages. The locally sourced steaks, they're not too bad as well. Iverstein is open all weekend and Labor Day till 2 p.m. for you to grab your last-minute grilling needs. Charlie and I will be broadcasting Labor Day, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. from Iverstein Butcher, recapping LSU Clemson and the entire opening weekend of college football. Tell my buddy Galen Iverstein hello at Iverstein Butcher, Perkins near Essen.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 1045ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford.
Outdoors with Don Dubuque. Saturday mornings at 5 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's live at lunch. Remind you about our guys over at the Morris Insurance Group, Buzzy Hydell and his group at the Morris Insurance Group for your big boy toys. If you're looking for insurance on your boats, your RVs, your hunting camps, your fishing camps, those areas that are difficult to insure, you need flood insurance, the Morris Insurance Group can help you out. ATVs, trailers, tractors, coastal properties, like I said, including that flood insurance. They can get you hooked up, not only heading into football season, but a lot of hunting camps are going to get going here not too far in the future. Get a quote today at morris-ig.com, morris-ig.com, or you can call 201-0007, 225-201-0007. Ask for Buzzy. He of the big arm.
Yeah, go Buzzy, take care of the big boy toys. Got to do that, man.
Yeah.
Got to do that for sure.
Absolutely.
Very good. Very good.
LSU light practice today.
Scrimmage tomorrow?
Scrimmage tomorrow. Tomorrow
Okay.
night too.
Okay.
They're gonna try and simulate the night game. We're 2 weeks out from LSU and Clemson. Nussmeier light day today with Weeks. They had him on the bike. And so, and Chris Hilton was not out there because he was at graduation, that you pointed out earlier. So congratulations to him.
Got some of the graduates eating over here today, man. It's fun, festive.
Yeah, enjoy that. So this
Beat
is
the thunder.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. It's not that they're going to stop evaluating everybody, but I think after tomorrow, you're going to get. He talked about putting in, and I think Hunt will have some of this sound turned around, on Matt will, from Brian Kelly's press conference, that they're going to start install on some of the Clemson stuff on Tuesday. So this is not terribly different from the schedules of years past. They used to do one light scrimmage on the Wednesday, 10 days out. I don't know if he's planning on doing that, but this is more of like a kind of like a double game week, a game week and a half with some of those installs. School doesn't start for another week, so they've still got a little bit of time there. But we're really going to start focusing in even more on that game, as if that's possible. We come back next Monday, Jimmy. We'll be into week 0 game week. All those Big 12 teams that you were talking about last hour that are in that range of, it's a very compressed range. You got 2 of the 4 ranked teams in the Big 12 going at it in Dublin, Ireland, and Iowa State and Kansas State.
Yeah, they, Paul Stone and I separated, kind of like you, Charles, the tiers. So you like to do the NFL quarterbacks, but I did the SEC, Big 10, and ACC. I had 4 tiers. This was more blurred lines. I could only do 3 tiers, but both Iowa State and Kansas State are in my top tier. You want to take a guess? Who else? I mean, me and Paul had the exact same 6 teams.
In the Big 12,
Uh-huh.
you had 3 tiers. I'm going to say your top tier, you said it's already Iowa State and Kansas State. I'm going to say Arizona State was in
Yes.
your top tier. I'm
Yes.
going to say Texas Tech
Yes.
was in your top tier. 2 more after that. The first 4 are easy. I think it's a little bit harder after that. Are you a BYU believer?
No.
Okay. Let me try again. Are you a Oklahoma State believer?
Paul Stone has Oklahoma State as the 3rd worst team in Division One in Power 4.
Okay.
Behind Purdue and Stanford.
Then no.
He might be. He cleaned house with his staff last year. He's brought on 60 new players.
Okay.
At Big 12 Media Days at the Star, Paul said he said that 35 of them he hadn't seen yet. The late portal came in.
Wow, man. This portal, and then there's
Desperation.
This spring, yeah.
Just
to get that, get that time in.
Charlie, Dave Aranda thinks he has his words. This is my best roster since I've been in Waco, and that's including the 2021 Big 12 and Sugar Bowl champion team, which was a really good season for them. So they're up there. The other one is Utah.
Okay.
In Whittingham. Whittingham at Big 12 Media Days says his new transfer quarterback is Devin Dampier. Now, he threw like 12 interceptions in New Mexico. We know about Diego Pavia and his coordinator. They went to Vanderbilt and with Mateer and his coordinator coming from Washington State. Well, Utah has their own as well. So the quarterback, Dampier, and the offensive coordinator gone to Salt Lake City. Whittingham says he will be this year's offensive MVP in the league.
Big words.
Big words. So, but we'll see. But the Cam Rising thing just kind of hovered
for
huh?
3 years.
Yes, it just hovered, and it's tough because he was so good. He is what college quarterback right now we talking about? Returning starter. We mentioned a team earlier that he reminds me so much of because they ran that option maybe 8 to 10 times a game, or maybe 8 to 10 times a game. Dual threat, tough guy, and threw the ball. He was a proficient passer. But he couldn't. They can't just stand in that pocket and be effective passer. They had to have those safeties cheating up and run support.
Okay. Haynes King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cam Rising and Haynes King are so much the same. And when they get those kind of guys get going, that could put a lot of pressure on you. You remember the Rose Bowl when he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trading scores.
They were.
7-0 Penn State, 7-7. 14-7 Penn State, 14-14. He tears it, then they go out to, 14-point lead. So he can win it.
I'm going to ask you about one or two other teams in this thing. Central Florida lost more games last year as a favorite
They're in my bottom.
than I think.
They're in my bottom 5.
But are you getting any value on an over total because they failed to cover so many times last year? Even if they're near the bottom, is their win total low enough? Is there any value there? And there may not be.
Well, when you have these mid-level or lower-level Power 4 programs that make a coaching change, they really suffer with that. Like West Virginia. They're going to be fine, Rich Rod. Not this year. Charlie, he took a bunch of players from Jacksonville State just to try and fill out a roster.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonville State, nice success story, exceeded expectations, but damn it, they're no world. That's not where you want to get your players from for a Power 5. So UCF is moved on as well. They're going back to Scott Frost. Well, that's fine and dandy, but he doesn't have the players he had when they tried to claim a national championship and beat Auburn in a bowl game.
The other question, the other team I would ask you about,
and Scott Frost may be better. He might get it turned around, but for Malzahn, it's just their roster's weak.
Fair enough. Kansas, after basically spending the entire season.
I'm on Kansas.
The entire season on the road last year.
I'm on Kansas this year.
They're back in the stadium. Jalen Daniels back, 3rd year as a starter.
Actually, would he's been, but this week before. Charlie, I got over 6.5 is one of my picks on Kansas, and the schedule. They have the 4 weakest teams. They play Arizona, West Virginia, Central Florida, and Oklahoma State in the conference. They should be 2-1. They'll probably lose at Missouri. They got 2 random wins, so I think that's like 6-1. And they were 1-5 in 1-score games last year. And who did they beat last year? They had a 3-game winning streak. Who was the number 1 seed in the Big 12 championship last year? The one of regular season, tiebreaker last year. They lost to Arizona State.
Arizona State.
No, they lost to Arizona State as the favorite. Iowa State. They beat them. They went to BYU. BYU was 11-2. They knocked them out of the playoff last year. Their only loss at home. And then it came back and knocked Colorado out at Arrowhead Stadium.
BYU threw that terrible interception that saved them, that saved Kansas here. And I love the coach. I love Lance Leipold. Love him.
Town Square Pizza. If you're coming in town to move in, you're LSU student and you're staying downtown, man, you got to check out Town Square Pizza. So hip to be square. That's right. Square-shaped pizzas, but so you go in the line and they're made for they're designed so you get your crust that you want, whether it's gluten-free or the regular. You get your ingredients, make it as you go on, pop it in that oven, and I mean it's like, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes. It comes out piping hot, fresh. It's good. It's generous portions. It's good stuff, man. So downtown in Town Square Pizza is within walking distance of all the major hotels. If you're staying in town for move-in day for LSU students or staying in for LSU football games, keep in mind Town Square Pizza facing Town Square downtown.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell.
What's up, Stu? Hang on one second. Hey. Queen. Yeah, okay. All right, Jordan, whenever you're ready.
All right, it's rolling.
This is Charles Handegrove. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from the Queen Casino in downtown Baton Rouge. We're 2 weeks away to the LSU opener. We'll review the Saints preseason game with Jacksonville, and it is week 0. Live at the Queen, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in Laplace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
BMW Championship up in Maryland. Robert McIntyre is absolutely smoking. 5 under again today after that 62 yesterday. He is 13 under par for the tournament. Has a 5-stroke lead on Tommy Fleetwood, who is also still on the golf course today. Ludwig Aubert is 4 under for the day, 6 under. He was a consensus pick for our consensus golf picks. He's in third place by himself at 6 under par, but he's 7 off the lead. And Sam Burns in a group that is all in the tied for 4th at 5 under par. Sam is 3 under through 15 today. That includes
so he's 5 under for the tournament?
5 under
Very
for the
good.
tournament. Harry Hall, Sam Burns, Hideki Matsuyama all at 5 under par.
Matsuyama, that's not good for me.
Scotty Scheffler
All
just teed off. He's 4 under for the tournament. He is just through number 1.
Week from Sunday, Eat the Competition, our annual wine dinner over here at Ruffino's. Again, I will not make it this year, but we had to slum in. Yes, we got to get Gordy Rush in here to talk with Charlie on some LSU football. I can tell you this, I'd have been more positive. It's the best roster he's had.
Really?
I'm looking for him. The SEC Turf Toss, arugula, roasted peaches, pickled red onions, Clemson kickoff, crab salad and caviar, Swamp Rivalry, that's an alligator arancini, the Bama Slander, smoked beef carpaccio, the Razorback steak, coffee rubbed Iberica pork steak, and a Death by Chocolate Valley, the chocolate espresso pot de creme dessert. And listen, Orange Swift wines, they generously pour. That's a great wine to pair with this year's dinner.
Thanks, Ruffino. Stay tuned for Hunt 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, you guys.